Not like the other brother.
You got a lot of
0-3 against Michigan, Ohio State.
Harbaugh.
How's he doing against
propaganda, man? 1-7.
Overrated.
All right, sticking with the NFL now, the Steelers and the Patriots are zeroing in on December 17th. Not only the day these two teams face each other, but also there's a Christmas fair here in town. Lots of great deals. But mostly the matchup between these two teams. They're both 9-2 and pulling away from the rest of the conference. Nick Wright, which team is better, the Patriots or the Steelers, right here, right now, today?
The Steelers have a better roster. The Steelers have more dynamic playmakers. The Steelers absolutely have a more consistent defense. The Steelers have more dynamic weapons. The Steelers are the better football team. The Steelers are the team this year that has not concerned you against their best competition. The Steelers are a team that has the Week 15 game at home. So and I know this will shock America, but the Steelers, the woebegone Steelers, the up-and-down Steelers, the can't-trust-them Steelers, have the exact same record as the steady and unbelievable New England Patriots. Both these teams are really good. We thought the AFC was going to be a three-team race, but then Kansas City nuked its own season somehow. It's now a two-team race. Sorry, Blake Bortles in Jacksonville, you're not in it, nor is Marcus Mariota in the Titans. It's between these two teams, and the Pittsburgh Steelers, by the statistical measure or by the eye test, to me, are the best team in the AFC.
Well, the conversation can only be between two teams, so that makes the conversation a lot easier to have. As far as at this point in the season, they've played 11 games, they had the bye week, 12 weeks. It's hard to separate these two teams, from coach to quarterback to organization to players. So we have to look for some other things that would separate these teams. And one thing that I would have to go to the statement that Mike Tomlin makes, guaranteeing in week number 15 that there's going to be fireworks. Really? Well, I think we're at week number 13 now, right? And I know they're playing an NFL team. The Steelers in the NFL, they're not like Alabama where they can throw in a Mercer,
right?
Right before you play Auburn to try to get yourself ready. No, right?
Back-to-back divisional games they have coming up. At Cincinnati, then home for Baltimore.
Oh!
To answer your question.
So you got two divisional games that are always more important than any other game, but you're going to tell your team, you're going to tell your fan base, after a win that you could have lost the game against an undermanned Green Bay team, oh, there's going to be fireworks. Oh, so the advantage I give the Patriots is the Patriots don't have to win that game. Pittsburgh's put all the pressure on themselves. The Patriots are next week, and when they finally get to, if Pittsburgh's still there, then they'll play that game. But in Pittsburgh's mind, based on what the coaches said and based on their lack of success against New England, they've put a lot more pressure on themselves, and they've put more onus on one game than you can do during the NFL schedule. Now, the coaches told the team leading up to this, hey, guys, every game's important. Every game has the same amount of weight. That's what coaches tell players. Hey, stay focused on this week. Now, the coach says, after the Green Bay game, he didn't have to. Hey, what's going to happen against New England? Oh, there's going to be a lot of fireworks. So for me, the overall focus and the consistency comes with being week in, week out. I think that's a Patriot advantage, and it speaks to them being more committed to the here, right now, compared to, what's going to happen in the future.
Listen, we'll see if that ends up jumping up and biting Pittsburgh in these next 2 weeks. What I do know is this, that usually your divisional games are the most important. When you're 9-2 and the second-place team in your division 6-5, and that's the case for New England and Pittsburgh, the divisional games are no longer more important.
They're not even focused on it. They're focused on December 17th. So if you can focus on a team and let the 0-11 Browns come through, and if you're not focused on them, you could lose to that team.
Sure, and you could lose to them if you are focused on them. And call me crazy. I'm guessing that this week they're watching Bengals game film. This week they are preparing for Cincinnati. What I believe,
but no one told the coach. He didn't have to tell Tony Dungy that. I know Tony Dungy's his mentor and everything. He didn't have to say that. Even if they were preparing emotionally for a shootout, it was not wise for him. What did he benefit the team by saying that?
I'm so glad you asked that. That is what I was going to bring up. Mike Tomlin is not a dumb man. Mike Tomlin is one of, in my opinion, one of the 4 best pro football coaches in the league. Mike Tomlin, I know you think highly of Mike Tomlin. Mike Tomlin clearly believes there is a reason to do this. There is a reason to say this. There is a reason for our team that can't have very high highs and very low lows, to start circling this game. Because that is the game that will determine who is the 1 seed. That game is not worth 1 in the standings. It's worth 2 in the standings because of the head-to-head tiebreaker. So if it is more important.
This game's important, but let me tell you the most important game, Nick. The most important game is going to be in January.
Right, but
because you know what? Because who wins that game is eliminated. All right, so leading up to this, like, they might try to put their season on this, but most teams that do that, it typically fails because it is counterintuitive to what football coaches teach on a regular basis.
I think that this Pittsburgh Steelers team is a far more emotional team, we know that, than the very steady Patriots, what you said. And the trouble you get into with that is you never know which Steelers team is going to show up, which is why they come very close to losing games against really mediocre teams, whereas the Patriots have themselves so focused and zoned in on exactly what's right in front of them that they just go out and they have been very consistent in the way they win. And I think if you ask which is the better team, I think you have more confidence in the Patriots because you know they are 100% focused on this and only this, and they're not going to get too high and too low, and they're going to do it the way they've been doing it.
That stuff's flatly, to me, overrated. This idea...
It's contradicting philosophies.
Well,
but
I'm just going to tell you, based on being in NFL locker room, based on hearing hundreds of coaches talk, interviewing coaches, even if the coach can handle it, the projection, your 53-man roster can't handle it. These young guys can't handle that. They need to be focused. And the other thing is disrespectful to the other 2 teams you're playing. They are professional teams in your division.
All right. Well, in case anyone's wondering, the Patriots have beaten the Steelers 4 straight times by an average of 15 points. So
they've dominated them recently.
Coming up, Aqib Talib and Michael Crabtree both got 2.